What's up everybody, Kelfka here, and today we're showing off a new build that we put together. After a ton of testing, we made it work to clear a 95 pit. I know that's not crazy compared to what the Spiritborn could do, but it is decently good for a chain lightning spear sorcerer. So there is some builds that could do higher hits, but we're just not into those builds with the firewall and the fire bolts and all that stuff. So what we did is we put this build together. It is called chain lightning spear is what I'm calling it, because we are using chain lightning. So if you look at the bar below, we're using lightning spear, ice blades, ice armor, flame shield, and chain lightning with unstable currents. We are using lightning spear enchant, and we're using ice blades enchantment. So you'll notice that we are picking up the crackling energy as much as possible. The one thing I'm using is Sue's heirloom, because I want to have evade available, because when you could evade, you could actually evade over the crackling energy to pick it up to cast more lightning spears. Plus, Asu's heirloom has crit strike damage on it, and I got a GA on that. So we're always max crit, and we're always getting a higher crit damage as well. In this build, I have 3,900 critical strike damage. So this is what's helping pump the damage through the lightning spear. So we're using 3 enchants on the staff. We're using splintering energy, but what we're doing is we're using lucky hit chance to deal lightning damage, because we're focused on basically a ton of lightning damage and then critical strike. And that's how we're taking down these mobs, basically. So we're only using 3. So we have that enchant aspect, and then we also have on the neck piece, we're using the ice blade enchantment, treading blades. And then on the gloves, we're using storm swell. For mythic uniques, we're using an Harlequin's Quest. So we're not using Arab Perdition. We actually got a Harlequin's Quest with the GA on the cooldown reduction. So that is helping us cast more of our lightning spears and ice blades to keep as many conjures up as possible. So we also have Ring of the Scarlet Skies, which I need a better one. Hopefully one day I get that. And then the uniques we're using is Talrash's Tibalt's Will. And Tibalt's Will is what made the game changer in my build. So the reason why we're using Tibalt's Will is because we get 20% X damage whenever we use an unstoppable, and we are using flame shield a ton. So in this video, I actually didn't use this, and I thought I needed the ZEC rune, but you don't actually need it. The ZEC rune reduces your ultimate cooldown by 2 seconds, and with the Shaco and with the cooldown reduction from everything else on your gear, like Talrash's, you don't actually need anything to make your unstable currents uptime 100%. So the ice blades, with the shredding ice blades aspect, is casting a ton of ice blades along with the enchantment, and you're absolutely going to have your unstable currents up 100% of the time. Also, you're getting points into unstable currents from the Shaco, which reduces the cooldown as well. So what I did instead, and I've never used this yet, and I think that this is much better, is I'm using a Jaw rune. So now I don't have teleport anywhere on the bar, but the Jaw rune actually activates the Tibalt's Will. So not only does flame shield, but also the Jaw rune on the Tibalt's Will pants with the Yull to reduce the cooldown of it. So it's working pretty good. It's working really good. I think this build could go a little bit higher. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I'm hoping that I could clear up to pit 100. It's possible. Who knows? We'll see. We'll try it out. So a little bit different on the Paragon tree. So the Paragon tree is mainly crit damage. Anything you can find of crit damage. So we are using the Burning Instinct, and you're using Tactician to buff the explosive Paragon node. You're using Static Surge, and you're using Unleash to buff the lightning damage and the critical strike damage. You're also using Conjure on the Frigid Fate board, and then you're also using Elementalist on the Fundamental Release board. So you're using all those glyphs, and you know, you want to obviously get those as high level as you can. Being at 95, that means you could get them all to 95 now if you could get to this point. So 90s go pretty quick. Obviously this is going to be a bit slower. In this specific run, I get to the boss and we actually don't kill him till after the time runs out. So we had 30 seconds left. And this one I was not using the Jaw Rune. So the Jaw Rune increased my damage so much that the next time I fought him, I was able to defeat him with 2 minutes and 43 seconds left. So we got a tier 95 done. I'm going to show that on the screen here so you could see it. Let's freaking go, baby. With 2 minutes and 42 seconds left, it was the Jaw Rune, man. The Jaw Rune did it. Holy crap. It's the Jaw Rune. What? What? That is crazy. All right, there you've seen it. So what I'm going to do now is show you guys the rest of the build so you guys kind of see what I've done in this build. And the cool thing about it is this build can do anything tier 4 extremely fast because all you do is take off Esu's Heirloom and then throw on Flicker Step. And once you have that, and then you could just basically put Teleport enchant on, and then tier 4, you could just port everywhere and you could just easily do Undercity, you could easily do Hell Tides, you could easily do Nightmare Dungeons very fast. That's another good benefit about it. So really cool stuff. Check it out. I can't wait for you guys to try out the build. It's one of the best Sorcerer builds I think there is, for sure. All right, so now I just want to quickly go over the build because obviously I'll have a link in the description with the full build that I'm currently using. And then also I want to talk about some of the upgrades that I could get while I'm looking through the gear with you guys. So first, we do have the Shaco. So in terms of upgrades, I'm only going to talk about damage upgrades because really this build is so tanky that it doesn't even matter. So you can see that I have almost 12,000 life. I'm at armor cap, and I think that resist is something's wrong with it. I don't think that the resist is really doing anything, and I don't think that they did the caps correctly. I think I'm capped at 45, it feels like, because I don't get blown up for not having max resist. But that's just what I think. Comment down below if you think something like that too. All right, so you want cooldown reduction on the Shaco, you want Warcry, you want Tam. Shroud of Fate, this could be an upgrade for me if I get a GA on all stats, and then also put all the ranks into all stats would be preferred. Here, I could either get intelligence or attack speed instead of maximum life. I don't need the extra health. I have so much life as it is. That would be a damage upgrade as well. So we got Storm Swell that needs 5% also. So I did get a really nice crit damage roll on this, and I did get it into crit damage 3 times. So that is going to be hard to pass up. But if I got a GA crit damage on this and got crit strike 3 times, that would be a big damage increase. So there you go. There's some more damage right on this item that I could get. This item, only 1% damage upgrade. And then all stats, that's basically what you want. I don't know why I didn't figure this out and have everything into all stats from the get-go on this, but it's 12 out of 12, so I might leave it alone for now. But that is the Tubalt's Will with the Jaw Rune and the Yul, which I was talking about. Really can't get much better than these. These are GA on critical strike damage, and the movement speed bonus is 36%. So once I hit evade, you can see it goes up a ton, 36 crit, and then I have full crit, and my crit is 98.5%. So I would like a little bit more crit, but that's what the Ring of Scarlet Skies, what I'll show you in a second. So then we have the Staff of Splintering Energy. It does have GA and crit damage, which is fantastic. I did get a good roll on crit damage as well. The aspect is not maxed. Man, they got to do something about giving us some aspects that are maxed, man. None of my aspects are maxed. That's a lot of damage. Even that 86 damage I'm missing on this is a lot of damage. So that would make some bigger booms. So hopefully I get that eventually. We'll see. Then we'll go to the neck piece, which this is probably one of my closest to max. We're 48 out of 50 on damage. With the Ice Blades enchant, casting Ice Blades will do 40x damage to vulnerable targets. Everything's vulnerable, so it's very good. I did compare Storm Swell. Since it isn't 35%, it is better to put the Ice Blades on the neck for me. You just want to go whatever the higher number is on your neck, so make sure you're looking at that. So intelligence, Conjure Mastery would be better to be a GA than Devouring Blaze. This is a pretty good neck. I did brick it. Chance to slow is not what you want in there. You want Lightning Spear. So this was before I had this build and I was trying something else. I was trying to get freeze on here. So I would put cooldown reduction to Lightning Spear. I would want a higher roll on the damage, and I would want GA Conjure Mastery. That would do a lot more damage if I had that. Here we are with the Talrashas. The 2 GAs that are important is non-physical damage and cooldown reduction. So I would probably want to get all cooldown reduction if I could. That would just give me faster cast with the Lightning Spear, but I was waiting to get one that actually had 25x damage because that is 4.5 times 3, which is 13.4 or 5. So I'm missing out about 13.5x damage there, 5 there, 5x damage here just on the gear, and this is probably about another 10x damage if you get this. So that's right around 30-ish, 33.5x damage that I'm missing out just from that, and then obviously not maximizing on stats. The Ring of Scarlet Skies would need a crit strike chance and a speed bonus. That would be the best for here. Core Skills does nothing for me, so I should put this into crit. So if I get a better one, we'll see if I do. I got a decent amount of... We're going to make a video about it, but I'm waiting until I get a decent amount of sparks. I got 15 and we're just going to open them all. So we'll have some fun with that video. And that's the gear. You can see the stats. They're actually really good. Oh my gosh, this guy's strong. Strongest I've played this season. Strongest build. You know, doing the firewall, fireball. I don't like those builds. So I want to push the limits of this build. Hopefully we get a little buff in the mid-season patch. So I already went over the skills, so I'm not go over that. And we're going to quickly go over the skill tree. Not take a ton of time here, but I'll just quickly go through, and you'll see that I don't max out chain lightning. I do want destructive chain lightning, so I create more crackling energy. I am getting shimmering teleport when I use Jaws, so that's still good. Mystical armor is the best way to go because you do 15% more damage to frozen enemies. And enemies are frozen all the time. And then also with the shakeout, with the ice blades enchant, your ice armor is going to be up 100% of the time anyways. So you see here, this is the little trick with the familiar to get the burning damage. So this applies fire, which is nice when you have flame shield on. Flame shield also applies burning. So you actually need flame shield on the bar because flame shield gives you that third stack of Talrashas too, which is really important. See, I would like more Conjure Mastery, 7x damage if you get an average of 15. That's just an average of 15. That's 135. So if I got this GA, I would get this up to about 11. So 11, so that's 4 times 15. That's 60x more damage when it's at a basic average of 15 conjures up, where I probably average, 20 because I'm using conjure glyph. All right, so this is one thing that I don't know if it's working correctly. I don't feel like I'm getting 100x damage with this. Comment down below what you guys think, but I just don't feel like Devouring Blaze is doing the correct amount of damage. I'm still using it because I have the good GA necklace, which you've seen earlier, but it is what it is. We are getting 5 ranks in Unstable Currents. Shaco does that, which makes it cooldown so low, which I don't need anything to reduce the cooldown of my Unstable Currents besides Ice Blades enchant, and I will continue to, because of Summon Ice Blades, I will always have Unstable Currents up. And then Enlightenment is just goated because I think Beer's Mastery is broken. I don't think it's working. I tried it out a ton of times and I just think something's wrong with it. So, all right, real quick, we'll go through this because you'll see it in the link when you guys check out the build. But we have Destruction, maxing out any dex nodes I could. We have Tactician, which is buffing more critical strike damage. Then you go up to Unleashed, and Unleash is buffing all the lightning damage, and Unleash is buffing the critical strike damage here, which is fantastic. And then we want Static Surge. Always everything's vulnerable, which is good, which is really good. Frigid Fate with the Conjure. This is where the Conjure goes. So Conjure, I don't think it does anything for the actual splintering energy aspect, but I feel like my lightning spears are actually doing good damage, so that's why I'm putting points in, or I'm using Conjure. Well, and then also the duration is the first point, but I think the extra damage is helping out, so I believe it is. And then the last board is Fundamental Release and Elementalist. I messed around with Control, I messed around with Flame Feeder, I messed around with Charge, and I found that this is the best way for damage. Like I'm taking everything that is damage. I even took out like the reduction stuff to add more damage. Anything that gives me damage is what I want. So that's that. I will go over the mercenaries. Subo gives you extra critical strike damage, so that's really important. And then this one is, I don't know, 10% attack speed is like, that's a little thing. The mercenaries are so set it and forget it. You never interact with the mercenaries. Like in D3, you're able to interact a little bit more with the mercenaries, and it's like, man, I wish you could do a little bit more. Also, I'm hoping that next season they do a little bit more with the runes. Like, let upgrade the runes, because I don't need any more mythics. Really, yeah, I get lucky with the GA mythic, but I have a crazy amount of runes, and there's like nothing to do with them, right? So if you could upgrade the runes, how cool would that be, to upgrade runes to upgrade power? And then it would make more of a cool way to interact with other people, with trading, things like that. So I am going to try this build as soon as I get a really good focus and a really good one-handed weapon to see if that makes a difference, if I could do any more damage that way. And then Splintering Energy will have to go on the neck piece. So, but this is the build, man. This is the build that you want to try out. This is the build that's really fun. Like I said earlier, you could take off Esu's Heirloom and you could put on Flicker Step. And once you put on Flicker Step, you just change the Lightning Spear aspect for teleport, and boom, you are teleporting around the map everywhere. And it is fantastic. So anything tier 4 content is super easy and super fun to do in this build. So great build. I think it's my favorite build I've made thus far in the season. But tell me what you guys think in the comment down below. Also, make sure to like and subscribe, because we are coming out with a lot of cool builds and other things that are going to be popping up in the season, the mid-season patch, and then also we're about trying out some Path to Excellence too, or Path to Exile. So let me know if I should do that also in the comments, but we'll talk to you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.